SABC Senior Multimedia Producer Luvuyo Mdeni joins us this morning as we look back and highlight some of the major events that took place this year. Luvuyo, it's great to have you on the show. Good morning. Just looking back at the year in terms of entertainment stories, is there that one story that stood out for you in the world of entertainment?
I think it's a variation of stories. Like you've just mentioned Black Panther, and this was like literally 2 months into the year in February when we all were enthralled with the Wakanda spirit, and we all went out and literally enjoyed the movies. But in the same month, we also had the Nleba protest, where when Nleba was flighted around the country, we had the protests, and people certain groups did not want the movie to be aired. So I mean, we've had a very interesting year, and when we just look at the year in review, it's been a mix. It's been a mix of stories outside of entertainment. I mean, the big story that's caught us all this year is that we started the year with one president and we're ending the year with another president. So that's the type of year that we've had in terms of what's been happening.
So it's really been a mixed bag.
Yeah.
But bringing it back a bit to entertainment, we saw a lot of international artists coming into the country, working with local artists. I mean, top of mind artists I can think of is Gwesta.
Yes.
He's had a successful song with a collaboration that he did with an international artist. What do you think of all these collaborations that we've seen come out?
I think it's been a big year for South Africans entertainment industry, and the height of it is with the Global Citizen Festival, which just happened a couple of weeks ago. But when you look at collaborations, we've also had a lot of South Africa's stars shine. For example, we had Lady Smith, Black Mambazo, do very well at the Grammys earlier this year. So it's been a mixed bag in terms of everything that's been happening. Has not only been within the country, but a lot of our artists have gone out into different parts of the world and come out with a lot of different collaborations that have not only benefited South Africa, but given to other parts of the world.
Now, in as much as it's been a great year in terms of entertainment and we've seen rising stars, it's also been a sad year in terms of the losses that we've seen. I mean, Procade, I know, took a lot of people by surprise. It's one of the biggest hip-hop voices in shaping the industry. Double HP as well. We also had Professor William Gyarapetse, known as Brawili, who passed away, and undeniably another icon in Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Just take us through that.
So I mean, if you put it in terms of a timeline, looking at the prominent figures that have passed on, it's really unbelievable, because we lost your stalwarts like Mama Winnie Mandela in April. Then you bring it back to your Double HP, who then passed away much later in the year. So a lot of artists who you never expect death, but a lot of very prominent artists were lost in 2018, and I mean, one of the biggest was Hugh Masekela, who we lost in January. In fact, in the next few days, we'll be celebrating the year's passing of Hugh Masekela. So it's been very tragic in terms of the artists that have been lost in 2018.
All right, trending topics. There's been plenty of trending topics. What are the few that stand out for you, that have stood out for you during the course of the year?
I think if we're going to be speaking about trending topics, we need to break it down. It's been so consistent that I mean, we've had stories that speak to the politics of the country. If we just go to the bottom of the page there, you'll see we actually ran a poll on the SABC Digital News Twitter feed to say, what has been the biggest trending topic for you? Because, I mean, we all take it in different ways. And as you'll see, for a lot of people, I think former President Jacob Zuma's resignation has been the big trending topic that has, caught people as we review 2018. But there's a lot of other trending topics that, come up to the fold. But I think the biggest that we've seen on the Twitter sphere from the SABC News website is that former President Jacob Zuma's resignation comes up top.
And just in terms of the industry as a whole, what do you think has been the general sentiment on social media about how things have played out?
I think the sentiment on social media on how things play out is really based on events at that specific moment. Because, when we sit here and we review the year, we don't see how specific topics or subjects were big at that time. But when you look at it, it's like, actually, this had a lot of us talking in the same voice. It had a lot of us talking about the same thing. So, I mean, social media has that, it evolves. Everything just quickly, it changes quickly. But the sentiment is that if there's certain topics that engulf us at that moment, we all talk about it at that moment. And when we move on, we all move on together to speak about the next better topic.
And just to wrap it up, what stories or trending topics or artists or names do you think will trickle into just the first week of the year? Top of mind, I can think of Casper, I think, who's been trending every single day since he had his Philip Moses Mabhida.
I think Casper's probably going to be one of the big artists to look out for in South Africa in terms of 2019. But another artist that has seemingly made waves and people are very interested in what's happening is Kwesta, because we know a couple of weeks ago he was in the country with Rick Ross, and we don't know what's going to be happening there. So a lot of people are also now eager to say, is there a new album coming out? So Kwesta is going to be definitely one of the artists to look out for in the first quarter of the year of 2019.
All right, so Luvuyo, that's where we'll leave it. Thank you so much for your amazing insights. Thank you so much. Wrapping up the year that was 2018 with some of the top entertainment news in South Africa and of course around the world. That was SABC Senior Multimedia Producer Luvuyo Mdeni, who just joined us now. It's time for a quick break. We have a whole lot more for you when we return.
Legal hassles?
Clientele